Hi, and welcome back. I have a confession to make. Yesterday, I forgot to tell you something that's kind of neat, so I will take a step back and share it with you. Yesterday, we were with grandmother, and there's the story about the nun who heard a voice, and this voice told her the recipe of how to make a concoction that helps cure addicts, which is what is happening right now at this Wat in Thailand. The part that I didn't share was I said that the nun saw a lion outside of her window, and she sat up in her bed and was looking at this spark behind the wall. Well, that actually happened to me. I woke up one night. I thought I woke up from a dream and saw a lion outside my window and sat up in my bed and was staring at the wall because I could see this spark that was flashing across the ceiling, and my eyes were following it, trying to figure out if it was an electrical problem in the house. Well, I really was dreaming this whole time, but when I woke up in the morning, I remembered it happening and just thought, wow, what went on there? And it was a really good fit with the nun hearing the voice. So I did insert that in the novel. Today we are with Isra. It's chapter 17, and the year is 2009. I remembered everything about that day. What I particularly recalled was my emotional state, the feeling inside my stomach. If asked where it came from, I could not have said. It sprung abruptly from the depths of my core and rippled outwards as a pebble tossed into a stream. It took hold of me, overpowering every nerve, filling my subconsciousness, confirming what I already knew would become true. I knew, oh, how I knew, with a certainty no words needed to confirm. I had a visitor that day. I never got visitors other than Gordon in the salon. One of the guards approached me while I was having breakfast to tell me there was someone in the office to see me. Dodd teased, "You're in trouble, Isra. You've been a bad girl." Sunny laughed along, giving me a reassuring wink before I departed. It took me 200 steps to walk to the office. My route was filled with a nervousness that crept its way up from the freshly polished floors into my legs. When it reached my stomach, it kicked out sharp pains, and I had to wait for the pain to subside before I carried on. Sweaty palms presented my next challenge, and I barely managed to open the office door. Upon entry, I composed myself enough to politely greet the stranger seated before me. She directed me to sit. On the desk was some official documentation on fancy stationery. Unfortunately, my bottom was not certain, and it failed to make contact with the chair. I was on the floor in a heap of unrestrained tears, and the perfumed smell of exotic flowers swirled around me in merriment. At the height of my career, I would have never behaved in such a vulnerable manner. But I was no longer the same person. A face struggling between amusement and general concern for my well-being offered no assistance, but said, "I think you already know what this is, Miss Isra." "I do," I replied, attempting to regain what was left of my dwindling dignity. With trembling hands, I read the letter addressed to me. I was oblivious to the woman who had already told me her name a couple of times. My ears were not registering, so I gave up trying to hear her and then relied on my eyes not to deceive me. It was better than I suspected. My sentence was not reduced. It was a full pardon from the king. I was one of the lucky few and would be released from the Women's Correctional Institute after having served 14 years of a life sentence. In 6 months, I was to be released. I had 6 months to prepare Gordon. I think Isra is going to be a busy lady. We'll find out tomorrow what she's doing in these 6 months. Thank you for listening.